Hello, everyone. My name is Wendy Fore, and thank you for being here tonight. Like I said, my name is Wendy Fore from Cash Life Mastery, and you are joining us for the Breaking Barriers in Business, Marketing, and Business Building episode. Tonight, we are talking about how to avoid online business success killers, and we'll be actually covering the two biggest killers of success. But joining me tonight, guys, is my co-host, Baxter. Baxter, say hello to everybody, and we will get started.
Hello, everybody. Good to see you. I hope you've had a good holiday, and we're glad you're here to join us this evening. So, as Miss Wendy said, let us get started.
All right. So, like I said today, guys, we are talking about the two biggest killers of success. And they're probably not what you think. If you will be honest with yourself about what we're going to talk about tonight, I promise you, you will increase your success by tenfold because they are huge. That's how important they are. And most people would think, okay, well, it's time and money. But that's really not it. Because if you think about it, guys, money can be overcome. If you're having a money issue, you could sell something you don't need, take care of that money issue, or, you could go out and work a little bit, or maybe change your budget. Stop spending on things like going out to the movies, or just whatever. There are ways to overcome money issues if you really, really are committed. And then the time issue, if you're already working full time, and you want to overcome the time issue, you can do things like maybe staying up a little later or getting up an hour earlier. Working from your phone during the day behind your boss's back, whatever it takes. So the time issue can be overcome too. But what the true two biggest killers are is excuses and lack of resourcefulness. Do you agree, Baxter?
I do. And in fact, it's kind of funny. I remember listening to a person today, one of the well-known gurus out there, said that whenever he was starting his business, before he became big, while he worked his day job on his lunch break, he would go out and walk around the pond, on the phone during his lunch break. So like you said, you can make adjustments, and a little time here, a little time there. So there's a lot of ways to get around those resources or lack of that you just talked about. Yeah. Money and so forth. We have clothes in the closet that we probably ain't worn in a year,
Exactly.
And that kind of thing. So there's a lot of things that you can do to earn money if you have the desire to be big. And like you said, look at one of the biggest ones, I think, right up front, the first one here. So,
yeah, and like I said, the two real killers are excuses and lack of resourcefulness. So we're just going to hit these head on. And like I said before, I want everybody to really be honest with yourself when we're talking about these. We're not trying to offend anybody. We really just want everybody to get honest with themselves because we're getting ready to go into a new year. And this is the time to start making some changes, So that's one of the reasons why this show is the last show of Breaking Barriers in Business for 2016. So we really want to give you guys some food for thought. And Baxter, I'm gonna mute you for just a minute.
Go right ahead.
Or mute yourself, if you will, please.
Let me find me.
When you're making excuses, think about it this way. We all do it, but it's because we're fearful of something. We have that excuse as our reason why we can't do something, or why it's okay to fail at something. But really and truly, what an excuse is it's that inner thing that makes everything okay. All the negative things that are happening in your life, it's that inner thing that makes everything okay. So you can go ahead and use that excuse. You can explain to everybody why something didn't work. But what an excuse truly does is it takes focus off your winning. It robs you of your energy, and it truly makes a bad impression on those that you're trying to work with. Baxter, would you want to elaborate a little bit on that? Got to unmute yourself.
Yeah, I was trying to get the click right there for me. Yeah, most certainly. Yeah, whenever we start making excuses, we definitely take the focus off of the winning, because we're looking at the opposite side. You want to focus on the goal and not the stop line. As another guy said, that when you're on a racetrack, you're going around that racetrack, and there's one thing that's a constant, and that's the wall. And if you look at the wall, you're going to hit the wall. Excuses are the same way. When you're making excuses, your mind is not focused on what you're after. It's focused on how to get out of it. And that's really what we're doing when we're making excuses like that, is to say, how can I get out of this? Why? It's to alleviate or to keep us in a comfort zone, really, is what we're trying to do, because we are so uncomfortable. And robs you of your energy is the fact that you have, you're going one way or the other. Just like time's going to be there one way or the other, and either use it wisely or you don't. And if it's your energy is to focus on how to not do it, why not turn that energy to use it over here? But on top of that, it's negative energy. It will take you down. Negative energy drains you worse than positive energy, so, and then makes a bad impression. Who wants to hear excuses? Have a coach or an upline or whatever, they don't want to hear that. You won't really talk to you, after a while, because all you do is make excuses. So
yeah, I mean, so many times people want to listen to that. So,
yes, indeed.
Typically, are you getting some feedback?
I am not.
Okay.
But I
Okay. So people who typically make excuses have some of these personality traits. They complain about almost everything. They have an outlook of, negativity in general. That's just kind of like their general demeanor. They also have a lack of follow through on most of the tasks that they start. They're usually like willing to start something, but being able to take the task to the end is something that they really lack. They don't like to deal with, adversity or failure, because it makes them feel bad. It all makes us all feel bad, but people who make excuses a lot, it really does dig down on them, because they know that they're making excuses. They give up too easily when the tasks get hard, and making excuses is a habit for them. You will find these people making excuses about just about everything. You have anything to add to that, Baxter? Unmute yourself.
You got it. The habit thing is certainly one of the biggest things about it. The more you practice making excuses, the more it becomes a habit. As we know, 21 to 30 days creates a habit. And when you create bad habits, it's very hard to live with. But creating good habits are very difficult, but they're very easy to live with. So you want to create good habits, and making excuses is not a good habit. So
yeah, what I tell people is, if they are kind of the person that tends to give up, make excuses, every time they try to make an excuse for something, because usually you're thinking about the excuse before you ever tell anybody. So when you catch yourself making an excuse for something, write it down, and then take that excuse and make it something positive. And if you can do that for 30 days, you'll change your whole outlook.
Exactly.
Okay, so the second bigger, I can't talk tonight, guys. You have to forgive me. I'm losing my voice. The second biggest killer of success is lack of resourcefulness. And I want to make sure you guys really understand what we mean by this. Have you ever met somebody who isn't able to complete anything on their own? They start something, but then they have absolutely got to have your help every step of the way. You absolutely do not want to be this person. People really appreciate people that are resourceful. They're out there go-getting. Even if they don't know the answer, their answer to you is, I don't know the answer, but I will go find out. I'd rather work with somebody like that all day long. They don't have to have the answer right then, but I know if they're actually going to go find out and get back to me, That's the kind of person I want to work with. Not the person that says, I don't know, and then that's all you get. Yeah. Have you ever had to work with somebody like that?
Oh yes, I do. And in fact, in my day job, even, I mean, I do work with people like that. And every few minutes you're getting interrupted because they don't know how to go figure it out themselves. And you, like you said, you want to be one who does, you want to think, you know, if you are in the middle of an MLM or whatever business, and your downline comes to you and says, how to do this, how would you answer them? You know,
Exactly.
how would you give them the answer? You know, and so if you're about to go and ask somebody, ask yourself, what would I tell if somebody does me? And most of the time you'll be right on the money. You know, you might be off a little bit, but you've at least applied that, and it becomes more of your inner self to think that way. So
Exactly. And so if you're in business, it's critical that you're able to find information quickly and you're able to complete projects. Like I said, excuse me, guys, can't talk. But this doesn't mean that you have to do every single thing yourself. That's not what we're saying. For instance, if you need a video done, and I'm somebody that you know, I'm on your list of go-to people. You call me, I do your video. We're done. You've been resourceful. But what is not resourceful is to not have a list of people that can do things for you that you cannot do for yourself. That's where you become unresourceful. So not learning to be resourceful can really hurt your business growth, because people who aren't resourceful are typically doing the following. So here we're going to give you a little list. They're not investing in training. You know, and it's extremely important to learn to move yourself forward as fast as you can, because most people become freebie seekers. You know, they're out there wanting to try to get everything for free because they think they're saving money. And what really happens is they're spending more time, which is costing them money. And this is, you know, so it's exactly backwards. The people that are out there freebie seeking, they're in business the wrong way. When you freebie seek, you're basically spending way more time versus if you had spent the money for, say, training, and you knew how to do something within 30 days versus researching something for free, and it's 6 months from now before you can do it. Have you had that experience, Baxter?
well, I hadn't had it personally as far as doing that part of it, but yeah, I know people that are like that. And you know, we have to understand that money is a tool. And like you just said, though, if you're trying to get everything for free, and there's nothing wrong with having free stuff, but if you're not investing in yourself, then why would anybody else invest in you? You know, so the idea is you certainly want to work and invest in yourself and to help you along, because what if the person comes up under you and you have a program? They're going to want what's free, because life returns to you what you give out. And so you definitely want to invest. And you know, and that's you're profiting when you invest in yourself. You're investing in one of the most profitable things you can invest in. You know, not stock market, not anything else, in yourself.
Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, and one thing that they don't do is they don't connect, but instead they follow mentors. And this is kind of along the line of what we were just talking about. There's tons of online mentors out there, and they're giving valuable free information. So people are following these mentors, hoping to get, you know, information and learn how to do stuff, which, you know, usually they do get little tidbits here and there, but you're right back at freebie seeking and spending way too much time, versus these mentors are giving a little bit of valuable content, and then they're saying, hey, if you want to learn this, go buy my course. Well, people aren't buying their courses, and they're just saying, oh, well, I'll just wait till the next time he does something free. And it's like I said, it's that reverse mentality. By not spending the money, you're costing yourself months of time, and you're also probably costing yourself loads of money because you're not progressing in your business. And one of the things that I really tell my coaching clients, first and foremost, if you don't hire me as your business coach, please go hire somebody right away. You know, I want everybody to have a business coach, because they're going to be able to direct you to time, you know, to tools and services that you need, and the ones you don't, they can let you know that. They can keep you on track. And, you know, they're also going to be able to advise you, you know, what the next step you need to take in your business is. And all of this saves you way more time and money than you'll ever pay a business coach. I promise you guys. So, you know, like I said, I've always told people, if it's not me, go find somebody you resonate with and hire a business coach first and foremost before you do anything.
Yeah, you got to have, you know, you need to, and I didn't really understand that myself. And so I hired one, but it took me almost a year. And it came from me just by and my coach is Dr. Bob Clark, for those who'd like to know, that and I've got a webinar to go to with him after we get through here, is that he said, don't wait too long to hire a coach. He said, I did that. And I'm thinking, okay, if this here is a top earner, you know, doing it part-time, then that's some wise lessons to learn from. And, you know, so guess who I hired? And went to Dr. Bob. And, you know, and so we've been together now for over half a year. And we got another half a year to go, in fact. And the point is that they can see stuff you can't. At the beginning of every one of our meetings, we talk about what's your win for the week. And so I would tell mine. And then after about the fourth one, he said, you know, tonight's the first time that you have not started out with a couple of negatives before you gave me your win. And I was like, oh, okay, I didn't realize that. So he was watching, and by him saying that, he saw something I didn't. And so from that point on, I started not to deliberately not saying what happened to keep me from doing it, but rather, here is my win. And so, you know, there's definitely a power to have that. And you don't have to have the most expensive one to get that. You know, most of the time, if you talk to them, they will work with you on money, in fact, you know.
Yeah, exactly. You know, as a business coach, you know, we help make your experience affordable, because we don't want you stressed while you're trying to be coached, you know. And it is amazing how you watch a client grow from A to Z, you know, from the beginning of your coaching sessions to the end, and you watch their progress and how much they're doing, whereas before they never thought they could manage that much work. And then all of a sudden, because you've gotten them straightened out and on a time schedule and doing what they need to do and focusing on the right things, they're all of a sudden able to get all this work done. So that is an amazing progression to watch. So guys, one of the next things that people do that lack resourcefulness is they try to use loopholes and black hat methods to save money. Or sometimes it's save time. They want to be able to use these black hat methods to get more traffic to their websites. And what's going to end up happening, guys, is eventually you're going to get shut down. You know, you're going to get caught using things that you're not supposed to do. Platforms are getting smarter and smarter with their algorithms and things like that. Google's even, you know, getting on the bandwagon and just, you know, putting you on a blacklist, and then you're never to be seen again on Google. So it's best to use what's, you know, long-term strategies, what's really working now, what's current, and what's above board when you're building your business. And, you know, and this is, it kind of falls back on another reason why you should have a coach, because you don't want to fall into those loopholes and black hat methods. Another thing that people do, and this still amazes me, because I know, Baxter, you've known me long enough to know that this is the number one thing that I preach. People do not set goals, and they don't have a plan.
Yeah.
You know, it blows my mind. You're extremely unresourceful if you do not have goals and a plan. And you need to be writing these things down, guys, because this is your clear path to what you're going to work on. And this is what's going to help you keep focused. We just recently, Baxter and I did a video about goal setting and productivity for 2017. So go back into our YouTube channel and watch that, because it's a lot of resources and a lot of information in there that's going to help you set a plan But by not having a plan, you leave yourself and your employees open to what we call the squirrel syndrome, where people are just losing focus and willy-nilly doing whatever. And this is a huge drain of time and money on your business.
Yeah, you got to have a plan, and that's the point of a leader, is to point people in a direction and supply the resources for them to be able to do that work. And if I could just back up on the last comment you made, the last statement there, just one word to put in there that came from Dennis Waitley years ago. Whenever he was listening to one of his tape, he said the word is integrity. Integrity is what it is in everything. If you don't have integrity, it will finally come around and bite you in the butt. So you got to have integrity in everything you do, or it will come back to you. But yeah, a leader has to be resourceful and supply the needs and set goals. And a lot of times I found that people don't know how. That's probably the number one reason. They do not know how to set goals. And there's a lot of things out there, a lot of programs, other than what we talked about, that can help you do that. There's a lot of resources out there. The problem with it, after you find it, is it's work.
Yeah.
It's work. You got to sit down, you got to think, you got to write it out, you got to stick to it, you got to follow it, and basically you got to have a vision, a mission, and not just a daily goal or next week goal, but what is your 5 or 10 or even, where do you want to be 2 years from now? What kind of party you want to have in your house, do as a sale or on a stage somewhere, or whatever it is. What is your vision and how are you going to get there? So.
Exactly. And, one thing, one of the last things that we're going to talk about is people who are unresourceful. They don't set higher standards with the people that they hang out with. And this is a really tough one. Don't you agree, Baxter?
Yes.
Because, you've got those friendships, those people that you have loved and have loved you since kindergarten, and how do you tell those people, look, you don't have the same goals and the same life plan as I do, so we're still going to be friends, but I might not see you or hang around with you as much anymore. That's tough.
Yeah.
That's a tough one. But guys, it's
Yeah.
probably one of the most necessary things that you will need to do in your business. If those people who are your old friends are extremely supportive of what you're doing, then I still say hang around with them, as long as they're supporting you. If they're like, hey man, let me know if I can do anything to help. They might not understand what you're doing, but as long as they have the, hey man, I'm here to pump you up if you have a down day, if they're that kind of people, then I say still stick it out with them. But if they're the ones saying, man, you're not doing anything with this, are you kidding me? I know you're not going to do nothing with this, then those are the ones you need to cut loose, and you need to cut them loose fast. You've got to start cultivating new friendships of people that are doing some of the same things that you're doing. Like Baxter and I are in marketing education. Both of us have that same background, so that's why we became friends. And we're doing things together to bring our businesses to a higher level. And that's where you need to start cultivating those friendships, and also cultivating friendships of people that are way above you in learning and in business, because those are the people that you're going to be looking to learn from. When you have a question, you can call them up and say, hey, you've already been here, done that. How did you do it? Those are the kind of friendships you want. But what happens is people actually have to work to cultivate these kind of friendships, because they're business friendships. They're not, you just didn't go to school with them and known them forever kind of friendships. They're something that you actually have to cultivate, give back to, and put some effort into. And people don't like effort nowadays. Have you noticed that, Baxter? They just don't like effort. And, so my thing is, it's not a good situation either way to hold on to old friendships and not build new ones. So I say love your old friends, but get new ones too.
Yes, and like you said, you don't have to be ugly to the ones that's not supporting you. You just start going your own way, and they'll figure it out.
Yeah,
they'll either change and come along, or they'll they'll tell you, hey, you don't come around like you used to no more. Well, You know, you're not helping me out to support mine. You know, and it's like when you change jobs, when you come out of the commercial world or whatever sort it might be, you know, that and you look back, those people who didn't change and follow, they're still there. But then, you know, you're up here, and it's because you put out that effort to move ahead, you know. And you do want to associate with people that are stronger than you, because they're the ones going to lift you up, like you said. They're the ones who are going to argue with you. And when I say argue, I don't mean like they're going to fuss at you. They're going to say, you know, why are you doing it like that? And, you know, can you do it like this? And why does that work? They're going to question and challenge you to rise up. That's the kind of arguing. You don't want those to argue like you was pointing out, oh, you're stupid, you're not going to make, you know, you don't want that kind of arguing. You want a good arguing of why you're doing that, because understanding what you're doing makes it easier to go, and then you know why it works as you go. So
yeah, I love it when my coach and I get on Zoom and she gives me this look. You probably know who I'm talking about. And she just gives me this look, you know, like, why did you do that? Or why didn't you do that? You know. So you definitely want that person that is above you, who's been there, done that, who can help you rise to the top in a progression. Because, you know, you have to think about building your business as baby blocks. 1 block, 2 blocks, 3 blocks, you know, you have to take those little steps. And it's not overnight, and that's where people just give up. Well, let's finish off the typical traits for people who are not resourceful. They look to their upline to do everything instead of taking time to research questions first. And if they don't hear from their upline, they'll sit back until they get a call. Seen this way too many times. Another thing is they make no effort to do the online searches to answer questions and learn new skills and strategies. They don't seek out free tools when they can't afford other platforms. Like, you know, if they wanted to do email marketing and they couldn't afford an AWeber autoresponder, they wouldn't search out a free tool that they could use until they could afford one. So that's the example I'm using there. The other thing, that they will be the first to copy and paste and spam your inbox because it's easier and it takes no marketing effort whatsoever. Baxter, have you seen that? So, I mean, so many times I see this. It's like copy paste, copy paste. Let me see how many times I can copy paste this spam into your inbox because I'm going to sell you my product. So right. You can, you know, those people right there have no marketing skills and they're lacking resourcefulness because they're not getting out there to find out how to talk to their customer.
Yep.
And the last,
I'm
going to go over the last one, then I'll let you talk. The last one is that they show a lack of work ethic. They rather be watching TV than building their business.
Yes, and that's where anything like that takes over. You know, watching TV, listening to radio, talking to friends on the phone, playing with your own phone, or just and on Facebook, even though it's a marketing tool, and you need to be on there if that's your platform, you don't need to be on there, 15 hours a day and then go, oh, I need to work my business. You can't do that. There's a time and a place for it. But and it's laziness. You discipline, self-discipline is another thing we don't like to do. I mean, we all, at one point or another, we have to overcome that and realize that I have to discipline myself to do these things if I'm going to get to a certain level. If you don't, then quit and don't put yourself through. And I don't mean that to be ugly, but if you're not really going to change, go ahead and quit and don't put yourself through the trouble, because it's not. Many times you hear, it's easy, overnight success, press this button, do that. It is not that way.
Yeah, I mean, guys, truly, if you don't have the gumption to get out there and work your butt off, work your ass off. Let's just be honest. If you don't have the gumption to go out there and put in a lot of work to run a business, then it's like Baxter says, you might as well stop, because it is not easy. There's no push button method. There's no overnight success. If you're hearing that from somebody online, please be advised that it is 99.9% surely a scam, because it just doesn't exist.
Right.
You might get lucky a couple times. I mean, I've seen people get lucky, but to truly build a residual income business, that is not how it works. You have to put in the work.
Yeah.
You have to learn to be resourceful. You have to stop making excuses. You have to put a plan, and you have to have goals. Without all these things kind of put together that we've talked about tonight, you're not going to be successful. It's just not going to happen. So with that said, Baxter, we have planned for the month of January in 2017, we're going to be doing some prospecting and recruiting training, because this is like one of the most important things that business builders need to know. Anybody who's online, even in a retail business, door-to-door sales, you know, whatever you're doing, if you're in sales, you need to know how to prospect and recruit. So we're going to be talking about a lot of online stuff, a lot of stuff that can be applied offline, you know, face-to-face, in person. We have really been working on a good plan for January to bring you guys some valuable content. So make sure you subscribe to our channel, so that way you'll get notifications when we go live. Also, if you really want to take your business to the next level in 2017, look below this video and hit the Join My Business button and join us in Elite Marketing Pro. Elite Marketing Pro is one of the best ways to learn how to market online, to have the best tools, the best resources. You get your own blog, tons of training. Baxter and I are actually, I'm the lead trainer for Elite Marketing Pro's Begin to Win series, and Baxter is one of my trainers. So guys, you know, I just can't say enough about Elite Marketing Pro and how they've, you know, just really excelled my business in the last year. And I know Baxter's the same way. You know, we've both grown, I would say tenfold from being involved with them. So guys, there's a free marketing boot camp. There's also a Join My Business button if you want to jump right in. There's tons of ways to connect with me at Cash Life Mastery on all social media. And then there's also a Connect with Baxter information below this video. So guys, we hope you have a wonderful, wonderful rest of the year, a beautiful New Year's Eve, and a wonderful start to 2017. Make sure you're subscribing, make sure you're connecting with us, because we are going to blow your mind in 2017, get you guys educated, build you up, get you making money, and get you moving along your business, and keep you focused. That's the main goal. Keep you focused on what you need to do. So Baxter, would you like to say a quick goodbye, and then we will head out of here?
Yeah, absolutely. Everybody subscribe to that, and then we will see you next year. Have a happy new year, and hang in there.
All right, guys, take care. Thanks for joining Breaking Barriers in Business. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye, y'all.